Happy Sunday, everybody. We have some crazy stories for you. Want to give everybody a chance to get in here, so I will take my time running through what we will cover today. Have about 30 minutes, so we'll make sure you have a good time. All right, so first story is going to be about a nut job impersonating law enforcement, robbing somebody in none of Houston. Also in Houston, somebody posing as ICE, an ICE agent. Crazy stuff. A certain DFW county is named the best in the state. Which one is it? It's not the one that I live in, although it is number one, my opinion. Anyway, we have a lot more. A Dallas mailman collapses on the job. Maybe it's because of the extreme heat here in the state of Texas. It's also a very dangerous job, as I know somebody personally who is a mailman, and a lot of crazy things can happen out there. We also are going to cover Greg Abbott and Donald Trump polling here in the state. So we will get started on this nut job imposing as law enforcement. Let's go.
New at 10 tonight, a man dressed like law enforcement holds a man up at gunpoint. You can see the tactical vest and the mask. The victim says he repeatedly identified himself as a cop until he forced him to the ground, but he didn't know someone else was watching. ABC 13's Luke Jones is live with more of that video. Luke, you also got an interview with the victim.
Yeah, the victim actually ended up shooting at the suspect. We know at least one of those shots landed. Police say the suspect later turned up at the hospital. But get this, they haven't yet filed any charges against him. And the victim's convinced he had accomplices. Police telling us this is all still under investigation. Javier Reyes and his wife in an armed confrontation with a suspected police impersonator June 15th outside the liquor store they own at Gessner and Harwin.
He say, I'm the police. Pull up your hand, get on the floor. I'm the police. I'm the police.
Reyes had just gone to take out the trash when a red car pulls up. Then a masked man runs up with a flashlight and gun, wearing a vest with the word Marshal on it.
They told me, I'm a cop. I'm the police. Get out on the floor, and I say, I don't do anything.
You only see that one suspect in the video, but Reyes says there was another person driving the car he arrived in. Reyes says the man forces him to the ground and soon reveals his true intention.
You know, this guy spent all that time getting his vest and plotting this attack. He could just get it.
And when he gave me the floor, he told me, it's a robbery. It's a robbery. I know the police.
Store, Reyes' wife quickly grabs a gun, then confronts the armed suspect. He runs, losing his shoes and his gun in the process.
Oh my God.
While Reyes draws his own weapon. He fires multiple rounds, at least one of which hits the suspect, who then crawls to his getaway car. Reyes firing a final parting shot as the car drives away.
The police told me I did a great job.
Both he and his wife are okay, but he shudders to think how differently things could have turned out. When the suspect demanded Reyes' valuables,
I say no, and he put the gun in my head, and they told me, I can kill you right now.
But for two plucky business owners. In Southwest Houston, Luke Jones, ABC.
Shout out to the man's wife who stepped up and possibly saved his life. His wife stepped in and took care of business. She knew what to do in that situation, and they were both armed. And this guy had no idea what was coming to him. This is why the Second Amendment is so important. It's unfortunate that these bad guys, they're always going to find ways to get their hands on guns. But that's the one way to stop this. Is the good guys must be prepared for this, because once they see that the good guys are fighting back, and we're seeing this a lot more. I mean, it's happened throughout history. We've seen good guys with guns often, as we saw in Michigan with the nut job who was going to shoot up a church. And then the guy in the F-150 rammed him. Then he had the security there to neutralize the threat. So these are heartwarming stories right here. Seeing that guy scrambling like that was very pleasing to me, to say the least. But here's another story. Suspect arrested after allegedly posing as ICE agent during robbery in West Houston. Houston gives me so much content, it's not even funny.
Of course, tonight, a man is accused of posing as an ICE agent to rob a man in West Houston.
Yeah, ABC 13's Mo Hyder has more on what led to his arrest and found out this isn't his first run-in with the law.
According to court records, we've learned this arrest happened while he was out on parole for a different crime. Giano Christopher Thompson is now behind bars. Video captures him in handcuffs, surrounded by officers after Houston police say he was posing as an ICE agent during a robbery. HPD says it happened on Monday along Skyline Drive here in West Houston. They tell us Thompson threatened a man and stole his money, all while claiming to be with the federal agency. The search for Thompson came to an end on Tuesday when police say he was arrested during a traffic stop on Wichita Street in the Southeast Houston neighborhood. A spokesperson with ICE sent to ABC 13 a statement that reads in part, quote, "This action is not only dangerous but illegal. Imposters can be charged with various criminal offenses both at the state, local level, as well as federally." Harris County officials say Thompson is being charged with impersonating a public servant and robbery, both of which are felonies. Court records also show back in 2022, Thompson was also sentenced to 10 years in prison for an arson-related incident back in 2019 where he set a vehicle on fire. He's been out on parole since late last year. In Houston, Mo Hyder captures him in...
I mean, does anybody believe this guy is an ICE agent? As far as I can throw him. Get him out of the country. So it's very easy just to pose as an ICE agent, and people could fall for this nonsense, sadly. But Houston. Why does Houston always give me so much content? And it's going to be a long time before this is fixed. People need to start voting the right way down there. And then Houston's gotten a little bit to the right, at least Harris County in 2024. So we'll see what happens going forward. But they're going to continue to keep giving me content. As somebody once said, Houston is Florida's little brother. Florida always has some wild stories out of there. So, yeah. All right. Abbott Trump approval ratings in Texas. Poll shows the economy, THC reduced favorability among Texans. There is a big divide here in parties. So, Abbott is holding strong with Republicans, or Trump is at least. But we'll get into here. Recent polling shows President Donald Trump and Governor Greg Abbott's approval ratings have dropped into net negative territory among Texas voters. Governor Abbott's decreased favorability is significantly linked to public opposition to Senate Bill 3, a near total ban on THC products, which he ultimately vetoed, which I'm actually glad he did. I made a video on that. I'm glad he vetoed that. President Trump's approval has gone negative here in the state for the first time in his second term, largely due to Texans' concerns about his performance on the economy and inflation. Those things take time. They take time, as we saw. The big, beautiful bill they had a vote to discuss it. So it passed. The bill didn't pass itself, but they're going to talk about it. 51-49. They didn't even need J.D. Vance, the procedural votes, I should say. We're looking forward to that because I think it's going to pass narrowly. It might be 51-49, might be 52-48, but the big beautiful bill will pass, in my opinion, and we could see on the president's desk by July 4th. We'll see. All right, let's go. A recent poll conducted by a Texas organization found that issues like the economy and a close brush with a ban on THC products have caused a drop in voters' approval of top leaders. President Trump and Governor Abbott's approval ratings in Texas have dropped to negative territory since April. Texas Politics Project found. Texas voters approving of Abbott's job have lessened since April, when the governor sat at 44% and 44% approval and 43% approval. I think they meant disapproval. He has now fallen to 41 approval and 44% disapproval. A major contributor to Abbott's popularity ratings appears to have been the controversial Senate Bill 3, the near ban on THC consumables, which Abbott vetoed on Sunday. The poll found that 53% of Texas voters opposed the ban, while only 31% supported it. So I knew that was the majority of Texans here supported the veto. I knew that just by the comments I was reading, what people were saying is people did not want that to be banned. Both sides of the aisle. The bipartisan disapproval included 46% of Republicans, Republican critics, and 39% of Republican advocates, compared to 68% opposition by Democrats. The poll was conducted shortly after the end of the Texas legislative session, but before Abbott's veto. The bill for killing the bill. So it'll be interesting to see what his approval rating is after he vetoed it. People on both sides wanted this to happen. All right, one other major bills that caught the public eye were either signed or verbally approved by Abbott prior to the polling results. Senate Bill 2 allocates $1 billion for private school vouchers and was Abbott's top priority this session. House Bill 2 sets aside $8 billion of the state budget to fund public schools. Senate Bill 10 mandates a copy of the Christian 10 Commandments to be displayed in every public classroom in the state. A lawsuit has already been filed challenging the decision. No surprise there. Senate Bill 4 and Senate Bill 23, House Bill 9, come together as a $10 billion property tax relief package. I don't know if that's going to be enough. We had a $24 or $27 billion surplus, I believe it was last year. I don't know if $10 billion is going to be enough. People are still complaining about their property taxes being way too high. And they passed a property bill package last session. So I don't know. Senate Bill 9, Senate Bill 40, House Bill 75, and SJR 5, a package transforming Texas bail system signed on what Abbott described as the day of reckoning. I think that was fantastic. To me, that was one of the biggest accomplishments of this session, was passing that bail reform, which we'll get to vote on in November. All right, so let's go to Donald Trump. All right, for the first time in his second term, Trump's approval rating among Texans has gone negative, with a current standing of 44% approval and 51% disapproval. Less than 6 months into his second term, the numbers tie his highest negative disapproval rating ever recorded by the organization. Those with the most negative views among Texans were his performance on the economy, 51% disapprove, 39% approve, and inflation and prices, 52% approval, 34% approve. His critics were found to be a majority Democrat. No surprise. Republicans in the state approve of Trump overall at 87%, down from 89% April and 92% in February. The poll found that Democrats showed approval ratings no higher than 10% for any of the 16 areas in their testing. I mean, is anybody really surprised by that? That Texas Democrats largely disapprove of what Trump is doing? And that's what drags his approval ratings down to 44%. If you have Republicans at 87 and Democrats at what? 10%? No higher than 10% for any area? I mean, you're going to end up somewhere in the 40s. The poll that was conducted interviewed 1,300 voters in Texas, and then we're narrowed down to the final data set of 1,200. State, and it's going to be roughly the same. I mean, as far as how many Republicans approve and a large disapproval among Democrats, I think the inflation thing, we're starting to see inflation slow to the workforce, and a lot of foreign-born workers are leaving the workforce. There's a lot of people are self-deporting. A lot of the jobs that were created under Biden were given to illegals. So we're seeing a lot of that go away now. More American workers and government jobs are on the decrease. We're seeing more people get back into the private sector. All right. Now I have a sad scare. Dallas postal worker collapses and dies on the job.
A union for letter carriers says a Dallas postal worker collapsed and died while on the job over the weekend. Hello and good evening. I'm Steve Eager. Authorities are still investigating whether or not heat played a role in the death of 51-year-old Jacob Taylor. Fox 4 Stephen Dial is in studio right now with more. Stephen?
The death of Jacob Taylor comes 2 years after Eugene Gates, who was also a letter carrier, died of heat exhaustion. In this case, I
don't know if I told you I saw that guy somewhere in public. I thought he looked familiar. I was like, who is this guy? I've seen him somewhere. Is he a celebrity or something? And then I'll watch a news report. It was him.
don't know if heat was a factor. The high Saturday was 94 degrees.
With a solemn note, on Saturday, June 21st, Jacob Taylor, a letter carrier in Dallas, Texas, died while doing his job.
That year's president informing lawmakers about another postal job. It was a congressional hearing Tuesday on safety protections for postal workers.
When tragedies happen, to repeat themselves.
Kamitra Lewis is the NALC Branch 132 president.
It's just becoming a lot to do the job.
2 years ago, her union experienced the death of another carrier, Eugene Gates, who died in extreme heat.
I became friends with his widow. I went out to her.
In reference to Taylor's death, the post office sent a short statement saying the incident remains under investigation and they don't have any comment at this time. But it's too early to tell the cause of death.
And hoping that it was not us, it would put another scare upon the letter carriers.
Following the death of Eugene Gates, USPS was fined by OSHA for failing to protect him from extreme heat.
Man.
This is being appealed and is tied up in court. The union is urging USPS for the hottest part of the day.
They did comply in allowing them to come in early in some of those offices where we filed those grievances. But in some of them, even when we filed grievances, they still went back and changed the times to later. So it's just a
by time commitments.
If it takes you longer, it takes you longer. And grace, but sometimes it happens, but the majority of the time it does not.
Taylor's family has asked the media for privacy. His funeral will be Saturday.
Dang, that's sad stuff right there. Very sad. My childhood friend in California is a mailman, and he says all kinds of crazy stuff happens. Not to him personally, thank goodness. I don't want anything to happen to him, but people get, mailmen and women get bit by dogs, robbed, the trucks get robbed, the warehouses get robbed, they get held hostage. Now, this is in California, in Southern California. They get held at gunpoint by people. There was a story in Dallas and Fort Worth where they're going after these master keys that mailmen have to all the mailboxes. Just crazy stuff. So it can be a very dangerous job, especially with the heat out here in Texas. A lot can happen. Well, if anybody knows a mailman out there, I don't know if mailmen are allowed to carry. I mean, I'm sure they're not, but I know they give them dog pepper spray for animals. But as far as weapons, I don't know. I would want to make sure I'm carrying at all times if I were a mailman. I don't know. I hate to see stuff like that. All right, this is a story that happened here in Texas as well. State shuts down 6 Texas massage businesses, for suspected human trafficking. I mean, is anybody surprised by this? You go by these massage parlors and you see these people here at night. You see people in there at night. Sometimes it's dark. The windows are covered up. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these are doing some crazy stuff out of there. Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation has shut down 6 massage businesses across the state for suspected human trafficking. The closures effective June 16th targeted businesses in Midland, Katy, Spring, Houston, Plano, and Big Spring. Investigators found online ads offering sexual services, unlicensed workers, missing client records, and sexual paraphernalia. Some employers were reported living on site, and investigators found role-playing customers at the it's in the parking lot of a grocery store, and I wonder if there are some crazy things happening inside there. There's all times of the day and night. There's people going in. Oh, the employees going in there. Like I said, sometimes the windows are dark, and I don't know. TDLR identified Wanli Peng as the owner of all 6 businesses. Peng and his associated companies. In Plano, a customer at U Spa reported inappropriate touching to police, which led to the arrest of an employee for prostitution after offering sexual services to an undercover officer. Man. The closed locations include A Plus in Midland, Healing Garden Massage in Katy, Massage Pro 1 in Spring, Massage Invite, U Spa in Yee Spa, Plano and Big Spring. Ping has been previously linked to other illicit massage operations. He surrendered his license for Morris Spa in Flower Mound after human trafficking indicators surfaced, and was caught operating Chi Kung Foot Spa in Dallas without a license during a joint investigation by TDLR and Dallas police. I wonder how much of this is going on throughout our state and across the country. I think it's you come in there for a massage, you saw it as some kind of sexual service. You have people dressing up and role playing. Then you also have inappropriate touching. Crazy stuff. This guy has a history of this nonsense. I'm going to my final story here before I have to wrap this up. Best county to live in Texas. Oh, fastest growing city in U.S. Okay. Part of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex has been named the best county to live in Texas by a new report from Niche. Collin County has seen massive recent growth and development, and includes Princeton, the fastest growing city in the country. The top ranking county score is attributed to its highly rated public schools, strong job market, diverse environment, and family-friendly atmosphere. Collin County, a new report shows that the best overall county to live in Texas is a part of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I mean, Collin County is great and all, but I think Tarrant is number 1. I'm biased, though. Collin County is home to some of the biggest developments in the country, including Princeton, the fastest growing city in the United States. Collin County ranked top in Texas. Nestled just northeast of Dallas proper, Collin County includes growing cities like Frisco, Plano, and McKinney. The county has seen a recent surge in population growth and is now home to over 1.1 million residents in total. According to a recent report from Niche, Collin County's excellent public schools, nightlife, diversity, job market, a lot of diversity, a lot of Indians moving over there. Job market and family-oriented atmosphere mark as one of the best places to live in the United States. Public schools in the area were graded an A+ by Niche. The county hosts Liberty High School, Plano East, Independence High School, and Centennial High School, to name a few. Based on employment rates, job and business growth, and cost of living, Collin County is also graded A+ for working. The median household income for the area is $117,000 per year, much higher than the national median of $78,000. The county has also attracted major investments like in the wake of population growth, including Dallas Cowboys world headquarters relocation to Frisco, and a coming Universal Studios Kids Resort theme park scheduled to open 2026. That's going to be big. That's going to be massive. I would like for it to be a fully fledged Universal Studios, because I love Universal Studios. I haven't been there a long time. I'd love to go again. I'm never too old for that. What they're saying, I've been living in Wiley, Texas, Collin County for over 4 years. My experience has been very satisfying and gratifying compared to living near downtown Dallas and commuting to and from downtown Dallas. One resident said in a review, Collin County is much more. There seems to be many public and private schools available. It's a dream suburbia lifestyle and that many find desirable. I highly recommend branching out to Collin County to start a family or even start a business. The area has multiple areas to enjoy, a night out, a walk to the park, and amazing schools. As a former student in one of the schools listed in the area, there was support in and out of the school setting for a plethora of goals in my future. Dig deeper. Recently, the Collin County city of Princeton was found by the U.S. Census to be the fastest growing in the country. Princeton's population grew by 30% in just 1 year and has more than doubled since 2020. It's not the only booming city in the county. Anna, Salina, and Melissa were also among the 15 fastest growing cities in the nation in the census findings. Collin County is nice. I'm not going to deny that Collin County is a nice place to live. Hello, Regina. Please remember to hit the like, share important information. Thank you, Regina. Please be sure to check out my friend Regina Connell's page, West Virginia Wire, for news from West Virginia and various news stories around the country. She's very big on AI right now. So if you're interested in learning about what's going on with artificial intelligence, she has some great content for you. She's been a big supporter of mine. I've been a big supporter of hers. All right, so let's keep going here. Let's talk about one more thing. I saw that Dallas is actually one of the best cities in the country. It was like number 13. I mean, I guess I'm not a fan of Dallas, but Dallas has a lot going for it as far as business, and we have the American Airlines Center out there. The arena's in Miami. Dallas is a big city. It's a booming city, a lot of headquarters over there, a lot of nightlife. But I'm just not a fan of Dallas. I don't like going to Dallas. Traffic is crazy. It's just not my cup of tea. I like being in the suburbs. I'm more of a suburban guy myself. But I'm going to have to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for. Oh, hey, Bill Gates. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. You can't stand driving from Dallas to Dallas from Austin. Yeah, I don't like driving to Dallas either. I go maybe 30, it's like a 25-minute drive for me. And it's like once you cross over into Dallas County, or once you cross the city line of Dallas, the drivers change. You could automatically see a difference in the way the highways look a little more raggedy. The drivers are more crazy. Dallas is a great city, don't get me wrong, but I prefer Fort Worth over Dallas. And I'm going to post a video of what happened in Fort Worth. I took it down. I need to make some changes to it. But there was a killing in Fort Worth. You were 4 hours. Okay, so you live in Austin. Do you live directly in Austin? I want to know what it's like if you have a deal with a bunch of liberals down there, a bunch of blue-haired people. Yeah, I've been to Austin a few times. Okay, you live in Austin. Is it pretty congested down there? No, Buta's pretty nice. Buta's a nice town. I don't know if you've been to the Salt Lake Barbecue out in Driftwood. Oh my gosh. I would say it's some of the best barbecue I've had in the entire state. Maybe the top two. If you put in, oh man, I'm running way behind schedule here. Half the reason. It's half the reason why you stay inside. Yeah. Have you thought about leaving the city of Austin, going somewhere else, maybe like Buda or something? Maybe come to DFW. Okay, you grew up on the east side. Yeah, if you've been to make sure you check out the Salt Lake if you haven't been there. The one in Driftwood. I would say the Salt Lake. What's the one in Dallas? Shoot, the one in Dallas I can't think of. Okay, you stay 5 minutes in Buda. Yeah, Buda was. I stayed there once for a little couple-day trip. I went for a couple of days down to the Austin area and stayed in Buda because I didn't really want to stay in Austin proper. There's a lot of construction going on, at least on 35, I believe. They have a lot of traffic down there. I don't know. I used to want to move to Austin a long time ago, but then as I got older, I was like, no, I think I'm going to stay up here in DFW. This is before it's really started to change. I mean, Austin's okay. Lockhart. Where is Lockhart? Is that only in Austin? There's one, Pecan Lodge. Pecan Lodge in Dallas is off the chain. And I heard that Terry Black's is good. Hutchins Barbecue and Trophy Club is really good. There's so many out here in DFW. So many spots in DFW. You have a lot in Fort Worth, like Risky's. Lockhart. I might have to look that one up. No, I prefer ribs. I prefer the ribs over a brisket. That's just me. Anywhere I go, I'm getting a half chicken and ribs. What happened in my chat here? It's about 30 minutes outside of Austin. Country love. Okay. Yeah, I'd rather live out there. I mean, I prefer living in the suburbs of Austin than Houston. I think Travis County is very beautiful. You have the whole hill country out there, a lot of wine countries out there. So it's a really beautiful place. You're also not far from Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg is very nice, a lot slower pace. It actually might be too slow. I went down there a couple months ago and it's actually everything shut down at 9 o'clock or sooner. So I don't know. Sometimes I want the slower pace of life, but then I'm actually okay right here in the Metroplex though. So, but I'm way behind schedule. I'm going to leave it right there. The slow life is weird. Yeah, I need a balance of. I think DFW offers a good balance. It's not like crazy like New York, or it's not fast paced like Los Angeles. I mean, it is, but it's not as fast paced. Yeah, you have places like LA and New York are extremely fast paced, and you come in DFW, it's a little bit slower, but still a lot more fast paced than other places. But I love DFW. To me, DFW is there's no place like it. But I'm going to have to leave there right there. I'm way behind schedule. Thank you all for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Share with your friends and family. Watch this 100,000 times if you want to. If you have that much time on your hand. All right, guys. See you next time. Thank you. Take care.